Hey guys, and on this episode of SBR Garage, we're bringing something back from the dead. This 2003 Arctic Cat 300 has been sitting for 2 years and hasn't run. We're going to bring it back to life. Alright, now as you can tell, good lord, I can't speak today. All the plastics have been torn off and they're sitting over there. As you can see. And as well as a bunch of other stuff. Because this four-wheeler was given to me by my ex's parents because they had no use for it. And they were like, hey, you can fix it up. Keep it for yourself. I'm like, alright, cool. So, it had some wiring issues, a battery problem. The winch doesn't work. It's got carburetor problems because this is an old enough four-wheeler that it still has a carburetor. There's the carburetor right there. So it got the butterfly back here. And it's got a little slide tube. You can't really see it, but you can hear it when I push it up. But it leaks out of the float bowl on the bottom. So probably just going to replace it because they said they've rebuilt it multiple times and it still leaks. So probably going to replace it, and I've already looked it up. Not replacing it with the same brand. $700 for that tiny carburetor. That's how much you would spend on a regular car carburetor. That's just a 1 barrel, not a 2 or a 4. But yeah. And then here's the winch. Curious thing about the winch. Watch when I try to switch it over to free spool. Yeah. Not to mention you can tell the cable is all kinds of twisted up in there. Now, I know this is a Warren wrench. Blah. Don't know if this one has a lifetime warranty. It might, but I may just replace it with something else. What are you two doing? Don't mind my dogs. They're just young and dumb and still kind of nuts. But today, I'm probably going to pull the winch off. Start cleaning up the plastics because they're quite filthy. As you can see, it's got a lot of gunk on him, and that's not just that, it's all the plastics. They've got gunk on them and they're disgusting. Plus, probably going to repaint it because that red paint is quite faded and whatnot, so I'm probably going to give it a wet sand and probably do like a very durable black paint. Something that you're going to be able to take a beating. Good lord, excuse my hiccups. And then we got all this stuff over here. We got front rack, rear rack, a brush guard, plastic front guard. And if you see here, that's the wiring harness. Yeah, that's why all the, like you see blue tape everywhere. It's because I taped up everything that had a plug to it because I was going to give it a power wash because, as you can tell, it's also quite filthy. It has been sitting for about 2 years. But I'm replacing the wiring harness because they said it had wiring problems. And let me just show you something. It's got plenty of splices and even one wire that's not going to anything. It's, yeah. Plus, some of the plugs are broken. Another splice. It's seen better days, so I'm just going to replace it, rewire the whole thing, and try to fix everything. The gas tank also has a leak, and it's a valve. Or at least they told me it's a valve. This. Oh. Right there. Yeah, this valve leaks. Why are you licking my jacket? Anyway, this valve right here leaks. So this will be getting replaced because eventually this thing will get torn completely down and get sandblasted because there's quite a bit of rust and it's beat up. So once I get it running, get it going good, I am going to strip this thing down and sandblast it and either repaint it myself or send it off to get powder coated, because yeah, it's more of a utility side or four-wheeler, but I can be rough with stuff, so yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna put you guys on the tripod and just go through doing some stuff and maybe teach you a few things along the way, if you don't know them already, that is. You may just be here for the entertainment, because I say a lot of dumb crap. Okay, to take these wires off of the winch control box, you want to use a 10mm wrench. It could be a ratcheting wrench or just a regular wrench. And then save the nut and the washer off of either one. This one, for some reason, only had one lock washer on only one of the wires. So be sure to save that if you're going to reuse the winch control box. Now to take the winch off, the battery cables have already been disconnected all the way down there at the end. The battery cables are already disconnected down there, so you need a half-inch drive, or not a half-inch drive, half-inch socket. And I mean, I guess you can use a half-inch drive, but you shouldn't really need to on this. But this is a 3/8 drive, half-inch socket. And let's go the correct direction. There we go. It's one bolt. Now, there should be 4 bolts holding on the winch, and from what I can tell, the winch plate, this piece right here, the large piece that all this is mounted to, only has 2 bolts because there's 2 missing here. So that's a bit of a problem. Lucy, what are you doing? So we're gonna take these off. There we go. There's that piece. Fair lead. Go. It's off. There we go. Like I said, there's going to be 4 holding the winch in. And then, obviously, you need to find some replacement bolts for the winch plate. Unless these 2 bolts were holding on. No, those 2 bolts might have been holding on that brush guard, so maybe they're not missing. Because that brush guard was covering up a lot, so was the plastics. Alright, that's loose. That's loose. Now, you take this cotter pin out of here. That way I can get the cable out, the hook off, and the whole winch assembly should come off. Fucking anyway. Alright, got some pliers here. Let's start it. Alright, got that cotter pin out. Now we can push this pin out. Ring our ears. Oh, that one's kind of turning. Oh, but those bearings sound horrible. So, got that. Now, swing out. There we go. Well, that is everything for the winch removed. We got the winch, the wires, the ferry lead, and the hook gone. Now, I'm either gonna salvage these wires and call Warren Winch, see if there's a good warranty on this. And if not, it's just a 2,500 pound winch. They're easy to replace. You can get one at Harbor Freight for literally less than $100. So, on to the next thing, which is just cleaning up the plastics, which I'm not going to film much for you guys because that gets kind of boring. Now, like I said, I'm not going to show you a ton of the cleaning, but they definitely need it. Especially the rear and front plastic assembly. Now, probably going to end up popping all of these pieces off and replacing them with something that has a little bit of a wider mud flap area. Plus, if you can tell, some of them are quite warped and damaged. So I'll probably just get some ABS plastic and try to form something, or I'll just buy replacements, which that may be the easier route. May not be the cheaper route, but it may be the easier route. But yeah, I'm gonna start cleaning these up, and I may not even film some of it for you, but if I do, it'll probably just be the tail end of this video. So until the next little installment of the four-wheeler, the little Articat 300, I will see you guys next time. Leave it.